Hello, my friends, and welcome to another episode of Snuggles and Storytime. My name is Amanda, and I'm so glad that you could join us today. Today, I have two great stories to share with you. But before I tell you more about it, let's sing hello. Put your hands up so you can join me. Here we go. Hello, all my friends, how are you? Hello, all my friends, how are you? With the jiggle, 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 and a wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Hello, all my friends, how are you? Did you have a great day? I hope so. I had a very special day today. It was my anniversary. So I had a great day being surrounded by people who loved me, and that was wonderful. I hope your day was great too. Today, we're going to talk about a really tough feeling. A feeling that everyone feels, but sometimes they don't have a name for it. It's called misunderstood. When you do something and somebody thinks you did it for a different reason, or they just don't understand why you're doing something, you're misunderstood. And when you're misunderstood, you can feel really frustrated inside, and it can bother you. It can make you sad or mad, or it can even make you feel depressed. Do you know what depressed is? Depressed is when you're sad and kind of mad and misunderstood for a long time. If you're misunderstood, it can feel really yucky inside. You might not want to play what you normally play. You might not want to go to school. You might not want to get hugs from your mom or your dad. When you're misunderstood, you feel frustrated and all alone. I hope you don't feel misunderstood very much. Everybody in life feels it sometimes, though. So today, we're going to talk about misunderstood, and I have two stories about it. Are you ready to get started? Okay. Sorry, my nose itched. My first story is called The New Bear at School. And there are all these other animals, and guess who's going to feel misunderstood? He's just not going to be perceived, or the friends aren't going to understand what's going on. It's going to be Bear. It's a sad feeling to feel misunderstood, but Bear handles it in a great way. He can teach us some things. It's written by Carrie, Weston, and Tim Warners. Are you ready? It's going to be a great story. The New Bear at School. Here we go. The day that Miss Cluck said there was going to be a new animal in the class, everyone was very excited. When Miss Cluck said that the new animal was a bear, the other animals squealed with delight. Let's see who's in the class. Here's Miss Cluck. She's a chicken. And we have a mole and some mice and a bunny. Oh, here's another mouse and a fox. Is Bear bigger than all of these friends? He is. Do you predict what the problem might be? Let's see if you're right. Turn the page. Letitia the rabbit wondered if it might be a pink fluffy bear like the one on her lunchbox. Maxwell the mole wanted a floppy brown bear with velvety soft paws. The mice were hoping for a bear in Wellingtons, that's like rain boots, and a blue coat like this bear. That's a famous bear. He's called Paddington. And Fergus the fox cub thought a teddy bear would be just fine. What do you think? Are they all going to be right? Let's see. So, when the door opened and Miss Cluck introduced Boris, Everyone screamed because Boris wasn't a teddy bear. He was an enormous, hairy, scary grizzly bear. Look at his eyes. He's kind of surprised. And so is Miss Cluck. They walked in for the first day of school, and everybody freaked out and started screaming. How would you feel if you were Boris? Yeah, you probably would feel misunderstood. You would be confused as to why they're reacting in that way. You're just coming to school. Let's see what happens. Miss Cluck told Boris that she would have his uniform ready tomorrow and asked him to sit in the seat next to Maxwell. But when he sat down, there was a loud crack, and it made Maxwell hide his face in his paws. "Oh, Boris," said Miss Cluck, "why don't you sit on the floor instead?" Uh-oh. Maxwell, you see him? He looks a little scared. Oh. So Boris was told to sit in the chair, and the chair broke. How does he feel here? Yeah, he's kind of confused and kind of sad. That's misunderstood. Miss Cluck gave Boris a brand new book and a pencil. He was very proud indeed. With a friendly big grin, Boris turned to show the mice. But Boris forgot how fierce his teeth were, and he forgot how big his paws were. Does he look scary? A little bit. And he forgot how sharp his claws were. He was really excited. But guess what happened? Somehow the mouse started scattering across the room. Somehow the pages of his new book got ripped. Somehow there was panic everywhere. Was Boris trying to be mean or hurt them? No, he was excited about his book, and they're all freaking out. He feels misunderstood. "Boris is too hairy," said somebody. "Boris is too big," said the little mouse. "Boris is too scary," all the mice squeaked together. "Oh, Boris," said Miss Cluck, "please try to be more careful." Uh-oh, take a look at Boris's face. How does he feel? Yeah, he feels misunderstood. He wasn't trying to be scary, and everybody is saying he doesn't belong there because they're not understanding what he's doing. That must feel frustrating. At lunchtime, everyone sat together, but there wasn't enough room for Boris on the bench, and nobody moved over. If I was Boris and nobody would make room for me, I think I would feel sad and very lonely. So he sat all by himself, and he dipped his big paw into a large jar of honey that his mommy packed for him. When lunchtime was over, Miss Cluck said that everyone could go off and play. The mice began a game of hide and seek. 1, 2, 3, they counted. Everyone ran to find a place to hide, but Boris was too big. He's trying to play with them, but is it working? No. So Boris shut his eyes and counted instead. 1, 2, 3, coming to get you, Boris boomed. And the mice are shouting, "Squeak! Eek! Stop! No!" Maxwell ran and cried to Miss Cluck. Uh-oh, take a look at the picture. How is he feeling? He's feeling misunderstood. He was trying to play just like they were, and now everybody's running away. He's just being him. That's sad. Let's go inside and play some quiet games, said Miss Cluck. And Boris, please try to be less scary. Is he trying to be scary? He's not. The animals sat together in a circle, but there was no space for Boris. Ooh, he's feeling left out now. If that was me, I might start to feel really lonely inside, or maybe a little depressed when I'm confused and I'm sad, and maybe even a little bit angry. Why won't they let him play? That might be what I was thinking if I was Boris. Boris had nobody to play with and nobody to talk to. Tears filled his big brown eyes and rolled down his cheeks and splashed to the floor. I'm a scary bear, he sniffed. I'm a hairy bear, he sobbed. I'm a great big grizzly bear. It seemed like a very long afternoon. That's a really sad thing, isn't it? At last, it was time to go home. Miss Cluck stood and waved at all the animals as they set off through the woods. Letitia hopped along the bank. Fergus chased the little mice around a tree. Maxwell scampered through the leaves. And Boris plodded along far behind. Suddenly, from the hollow tree leapt the Rat Pack. Do you see them? They have sticks, kind of like they're pretending to be a ninja or somebody that could hurt people. Well, if it isn't the crybabies, said the meanest rat. Letitia, Maxwell, Fergus, and the mice trembled while the Rat Pack circled around them. They're really scared, aren't they? I would be scared too. The rats didn't see Boris plodding down the path. All Boris could see was a lot of excitement ahead, and he wanted to join the fun. Boris stood up tall to greet the new friends with his biggest and widest bear grin and... Yikes! It's a hairy, scary bear! Yelled the Rat Pack. Quick, run! It's a hairy, scary grizzly bear! The rotten rats ran far away, as fast as their skinny little legs could carry them. But I only wanted to say hello, said Boris. Ooh. So did the rats even want to be his friend? No, they were scared just because they saw him. I bet he's feeling pretty sad and a little frustrated and lonely. Do you remember what that's called? You're right. It's misunderstood. It's a big one. When Boris turned around, the other animals cheered. Boris is a hairy bear, they cried. Boris is a scary bear, they chanted. We're so glad that Boris is our grizzly bear. Suddenly, Boris felt kind of shy. If you're going to be a bear, he said gently, then I guess it's probably the best thing to be a hairy, scary grizzly bear. Is he feeling accepted now and understood? Yeah, because they want to be his friend. And they're liking him just for being him. That would make me feel a lot better. What about you? The next day at school, the animals couldn't wait to tell Miss Cluck all about how Boris saved them from the nasty rat pack. "Oh, Boris," said Miss Cluck, "what a good bear you are. Take a look. How's he feeling?" He's feeling much happier because they want to be his friend. And they're not scared of him anymore. He's feeling understood. That's a great thing. At story time, everyone rushed to gather around Miss Cluck. But then there wasn't much room for Boris. So Boris sat down, and the rest of them didn't mind one bit because they had a soft, warm place to sit. Where'd they sit? On his lap. That's so great. Did you like that story? It's one of my favorite stories. Bear was just trying to be himself, but people and the animals in the class didn't understand. And that can feel very lonely inside. It can feel like they just don't want to be your friend, and that can make you feel kind of angry. That's called being misunderstood. And it feels really crummy. It does. I have another story to read. But first, I think we should sing a song. Will you join me? Okay, it's the Happy and You Know It song. So we're going to start with clapping our hands for happy. Are you ready? Here we go. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, then your face will surely show it. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. Uh-oh. Now we have to pretend to be sad. Can you be sad? Oh. Oh. Maybe you're gonna cry. Can you pretend? When we pretend to be sad, we are going to wipe our eyes. Just like that. Good job. You don't have to cry for real. We can just pretend. Here we go. If you're sad and you know it, wipe your eyes. If you're sad and you know it, wipe your eyes. If you're sad and you know it, then your face will surely show it. If you're sad and you know it, wipe your eyes. Are you done being sad? Good. The next thing we're going to pretend to be is angry. Angry is a strong feeling, and it starts from in your middle of your chest. Sometimes it starts from your belly even. And when you're angry, your face gets all scrunched up like this. Yeah. When you're angry, your thinking brain isn't working. So when we're angry, we need to take a breath. Are you ready? Here we go. If you're angry and you know it, take a breath. If you're angry and you know it, take a breath. If you're angry and you know it, then your face will surely show it. If you're angry and you know it, take a breath. Good job. The next one is my favorite emotion. It's loved. Loved. So when you're feeling loved, you feel all warm and mushy-gushy on the inside. And you can do lots of different things when you're loved. Today, when you're feeling loved, you're going to give yourself a hug. Okay? Here we go. If you're loved and you know it, share a hug. Aww. If you're loved and you know it, share a hug. Aww. If you're loved and you know it, then your face will surely show it. If you're loved and you know it, share a hug. Oh, that's a good feeling, isn't it? I agree. We have another story to read. This one is called Gruff the Grump. It's another bear. It's another bear, and this time he's grumpy. Do you know what grumpy is? Grumpy is kind of when you're frustrated and angry and you're kind of just not happy. You're grump. Yeah. Gruff the Grump is what it's called. And it's written by Steve Smallman and C. Biscoe. Are you ready for a great story? Here we go. Ooh, it's a big book. Gruff was a bear. A great big bear. A great big scowly, growly, grizzly grump of a bear. He lived all alone in a musty, dusty old cave where nobody ever came to visit. Maybe that's why he's angry. The other animals hid when they saw him coming. They called him Gruff the Grump. Went Gruff the Grump to show that he didn't care what they said. One morning, Gruff the Grump was stomping through the forest when he saw something strange. It was a small, upside-down rabbit hanging high from the branches of the tree. "Hello, Mr. Bear," said the rabbit, upside-downy. "I'm a bit stuck. Can you help me down, please?" "Thank you very much." Do you think he's going to help? Maybe. Let's see. Said Gruff the Grump, and he turned to walk away. "Oh, please, Mr. Bear, please get me down," pleaded the rabbit. Much to Gruff the Grump's surprise, he found himself lifting the little rabbit gently down to the ground. Thank you, Mr. Bear," said the rabbit. "There was a fallen star caught in the tree, so I had to rescue it. And then I got stuck, but then you rescued me. Here," she said with a smile, "you can have it." She carefully put the fallen star in the old bear's huge hairy palm and went home. Is it really a star? It looks kind of like a leaf to me. It would make more sense for a leaf to be in a tree than the star. Gruff the Grump thought that star looked a lot like a leaf, but he took it home anywhere and put it on his mantelpiece. It was so golden and beautiful that it made him realize how dusty and dirty his cave had become. For the first time in a very long time, he dusted the mantelpiece and brushed away all the cobwebs. A few days later, Gruff the Grump was fishing in the river when a log floated past. Clinging to the log was a small, soggy rabbit, holding an orange pointy thing. "Hello, Mr. Bear," said Little Rabbit soggily. Can you get me out of the water, please?" "Thank you very much," went Gruff the Grump. But then he reached over and lifted the little rabbit safely onto the riverbank. Thank you, Mr. Bear," said the rabbit. "There was a fallen star in the water and I had to rescue it. You are very big and very kind. Will you look after it for me?" But Gruff the Grump just turned and walked away. He was feeling a little bit funny. Nobody had ever called him kind before. "But Mr. Bear, come cried the little rabbit, running after him. I can't look after it all on my own. Okay, I'll take it, snarled Gruff the Grump, and he took the star and slammed the cave door behind him. Why does the rabbit keep giving him the stars? I don't know. Let's see. Gruff the Grump put the star on the mantelpiece next to his other star. They looked so clean and colorful that it made them realize how grimy and grummy his cave still was. So for the first time in a very long time, he swept up all the old pine needles from the floor. Now his cave was very clean, but it was bare and empty inside. Suddenly, Gruff felt like the bear who was empty inside too. He felt sad. And when he was done feeling sad, he felt mad or cross. And he was right in the middle of feeling cross when there was a knock at the door. Who's it now? He shouted. It was Little Rabbit with a whole wheelbarrow full of stars. Hello, Mr. Rabbit, she said wearily. There were lots and lots of fallen stars, and I had to rescue them. Go away, roared Gruff the Grump. I don't want any more stupid stars. Then, to his great surprise, Little Rabbit burst into tears. Why is Rabbit crying? The bear was mean to her, or him. She was trying to help, and he was angry and misunderstood, and he felt good, but then he felt bad, and he doesn't know what to do. Gruff the Grump felt terrible. He wanted the little rabbit to stop crying, but he didn't know what to do. He tried making silly faces, but that didn't work. He did a little funny dance, but that didn't work. Then he sat down next to her and said, I'm sorry I shouted at you, Little Rabbit. I really am a grizzly old grump of a bear. The little rabbit stopped crying and tried a little smile. And for the first time in a long time, Gruff the bear smiled too. I think he maybe wanted a friend. Maybe that's why he was angry. Gruff and the little rabbit scattered the stars around the cave, laughing as loud as they could. And then they fell over like golden snowflakes falling all around them. Little Rabbit stayed and played with Gruff until nearly bedtime. I have to go now, she said sadly. Will you come again soon? Asked Gruff. Very soon, the little rabbit smiled, and she kissed him good night and hopped home. It sounds like they're being friends now. That's exciting. Gruff the Grump gave a great big yawn and snuggled down to sleep in his warm, starry bed. For the first time in a long time, he wasn't misunderstood. He was happy. The end. Did you like that story? I hope you did. It's one of my favorites as well. It's tough when you feel misunderstood, but when you can take a pause and talk to somebody about it, sometimes it's a little bit easier. Or maybe you have to use your words and try explaining things a different way. That could be too. Today I have a game to play with you. I have a game where on my board I have some shapes. I have 5 shapes. Do you know all these shapes? Let's see, we have a star and a really long rectangle and a triangle with a point. Then we have a square and we have a circle. Now in today's game, I'm going to use my finger to make a shape over here. And your job is to figure out which shape I'm drawing. Are you ready to try? Okay, I'm going to start with a tough one. Here we go. Can you figure out what shape it is? I'll draw it again. 1, 2, 3 sides. What shape was it? It has 3 sides. Was it the circle? Was it the square? Was it the triangle? It was. I'm going to erase the triangle so we know that shape is done. Now I have 4 shapes left. Are you ready for my next shape? Here we go. This one is really tricky. It's a long line, short line, long line, short line. What shape is it? I'll draw it again. 1, 2, 3, 4 sides. Is it the circle? No. Is it the square? No, this one has 4 sides, but remember my shape had a long line, short line, long line, short line. Those sides are all the same. It's not the square. Is it the star? No, it was the rectangle. Bye-bye, rectangle. Are you ready for my next shape? Here we go. It's gonna be a fun one. Starting on top. It goes all the way around. Ooh, I'll make it smaller. All the way around. Do you know what shape I did? I'll draw it one more time. All the way around. Oh, you're so smart. It was the circle. It was the circle. Well done. Now, we've got one more shape to find. Let's see which shape it is. Are you ready? Here we go. It goes 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 sides. I'll draw it again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Do you know what shape it is? Is it the star? No. Is it the square? Yes, it's the square. Now, you have one more shape to find. We have to do a star. Stars are tricky. Stars are tricky. So I want you to make a star with your body instead. Put your legs out wide. Stand up tall. And put your arms out too. Your arms will be this part, and your legs and your head. Did you make a star? Wonderful job! I had such a great time reading stories with you today. And now it's time to say goodbye. But I'll wait and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye, my friends.